everyone, and welcome to the Design Trinity, Revit, Bluebeam, and Markup Synergy. My name is Juliana, and I work in marketing here at MicroCAD. And today's presenter is Julian, our applications specialist. In this webinar, we'll explore the relationship between these three essential tools and learn how they work together to enhance productivity, improve coordination, and deliver superior design outcomes. As usual, throughout the webinar, you can ask a question at any given point on the left-hand corner. You can ask Julian to revisit a step or ask any questions. This is your time, and we want you to make the most of it. And in the upper left-hand corner, you will find links to our social media, website, and YouTube channel. You will also find there our links to our registration page for all of our webinars. And we highly encourage you to register even if you cannot make it, so you can get the on-demand recording. And we also post all of our webinars at the end on our YouTube channel. So you will get, after 24 hours out the webinar, you will get the on-demand recording, but you will also have it on our YouTube channel, I believe today. So in case you want to get it sooner or anything, please feel free to reply back to the registration you got and let me know. So yeah, without further ado, I'll pass it on to Julian. Hi, Juli.
Hi, Juliana. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. So you have noticed that this past sessions and webinars that we have been doing, we kind of have like this theme of design and as well using Revit, using Bluebeam. And today's topic is going to be a little bit short, but we want to straight to the point, right? So if you're a Revit user, if you as well are going to be a Bluebeam user, at some point we need to kind of like create a synergy. And for that, today, we also like to bring up to the table markups. And what is the idea or why we define it as a Trinity is because, okay, if I'm working on an architectural engineering project using Revit, at some point during my design phase or my construction phase, I'm going to receive some red lines from my team members, right? From my clients, from the city if I'm presenting the drawings for a revision, right? And those markups usually are going to come in the form of a PDF type of file, right? Now the integration is going to be either I need two monitors, right? Or I need, if I only have one, I need to cycle through my screen between Revit and Bluebeam, right? Or if I have any other type of PDF tool, which in that case is going to make it a little bit more complicated to get to the point that I'm trying to make, right? So kind of like the instance that we want to show you today and what we would like to take advantage of is using the markups tool, which is going to allow us to create kind of like this integration of the work that I'm doing in Revit with the work that I'm receiving from Bluebeam, and have everything in one single area. Now, let me go ahead and share my software. So the instance that I have right here is Revit 2024, and I'm currently working on this project, right? Now, a couple of things that you need to have in mind, in addition to your basic Revit knowledge, and this is kind of like the step or the workflow that we do on a daily basis, and that is going to be printing, right? So when it comes to printing, especially if you're using a version such as 2021 and after, you're going to rely a lot on your PDF or your export tool when it comes to creating a set, right? Now, I know some users, they still like their print option. I'm not against the printing. You can continue using it. But what I do like about the PDF creation from Revit 2021 and above is the quick option to quickly create a set. So for example, right here, I create a set for my webinar, right? In my dialog box, I'm going to be able to select all my sheets, all my views, right? Everything that I need for a presentation. So this is good, right? I'm going to be able to quickly organize my list of drawings, organize the print order as I need. And once I'm good, I'm going to be able to create the PDF. In this case, let me give the location in my desktop, right? So that way I don't need to go that far to look for it or place it or whatever, right? So I'm going to select my desktop and print my drawing. So that is one option, right? So at this point, nothing new, right? Quite straightforward. Something that I do like, if you have Revit 2024, right here, bottom left, great addition. Finally, a percentage value with the loading tool. Right here, a warning because I have a specific quality definition, but just like that, I create a PDF file. Now, followed by that, now I'm going to have my Bluebeam. Now, don't worry if you're not familiar with the my Bluebeam looks at this moment. This is from the past webinar. Let me send it back to the dark team. So maybe you're a little bit more familiar with this one. So this is the drawing that I create, right? Nothing too fancy, quite straightforward. I printed using the basic Revit PDF creation. But this is kind of like the area where, okay, I start to rely a little bit more on my Bluebeam, right? Because depending on the project, maybe I would like to bring some additional information, and this will make it kind of like a team, the team of Revit and Review Bluebeam. So if you have paid attention before, right here in the add-ins section of my Revit, I'm going to be able to find a quick setting to modify or edit or create PDF of Revit. Now, why am I sharing this one to you? Because as part of the options and tools and settings that I'm going to be able to add and modify right here in Revit when printing and converting to Bluebeam, is that I'm going to have nice integration, such as export the rooms that I have from my Revit file to send it to spaces that I can use right here in my Bluebeam. Now, if you have used Bluebeam before, you notice that we have a tool intended for spaces. Now, with spaces, this is going to give me additional data that I'm going to be able to use right here in Revit. So this is kind of like one of the first integrations that I have between both softwares, right? Just in addition, it's not going to be only printing. I can gather data, right? Or transfer data from my Revit to my Bluebeam files. So this is kind of like something really cool, really nice that I'm going to be able to do, right? So that's kind of like the first step. I'm working on my Revit, creating my drawings, send them for revision. Now right here, this is going to go to my my team members, right? Or this is going to go to my QA, QC team that is going to start taking a look of my drawing. So right here, they are going to open it using their default PDF editor, right? And when it comes to markups, you know that Bluebeam is the leading software that we have in the industry for architecture engineering, right? Now, you're going to go to your tool chest, and you already have your specific tools that you use on a daily basis for revision. So maybe right here, your team has a way to quickly add notes, right? So I can use my tool chest, and right here, I know for sure that number one is related to something maybe on presentation, right? I can read the notes from my team and quickly understand that, okay, this is something that I need to edit, right? Now, right here at the bottom right, they can find and quickly add, for example, some clouds. So, okay, I'm missing all the data that is going to be important for my drawing. So this is something that I quickly can check in the title block, right? So basic information, and I can see, okay, right here, this area as well is empty. Presentation things that, well, that's something that we deal with daily basics, right? But then I can go to floor plan 2, and then I'm going to notice, okay, this is a pattern. In all my sheets, right, I'm missing that information. Now, this is where the software Bluebeam in particular, is going to be really cool, because if instead of going one by one of those pages, or creating a node that right here, right? So I can go ahead and type a node that says, you have this issue in all the pages, that can lead into someone interpreting something different. Something that you're going to be able to do is, for example, right click on the markup and apply to all the pages. You can say in which pages. Now, if someone is paying attention to their drawings, and if someone is paying attention to the markups that I'm creating, they are going to be able to see all those annotations, right? I can repeat the same right here for this one. Right click, apply to all pages. But I'm mentioning something that at this point probably you're already familiar with, right? If you're a user of Bluebeam on a daily basis, you're creating this type of markups, and you're navigating your drawings, and maybe you're creating annotations for your teammates, right? So you're using your highlighter, you're using your Cloud Plus, all that, right? To add your annotations, right? And at the end, once you're good with those definitions, you're simply are just going to go ahead and save those settings, right? So let me just add a couple of other annotations right here. Uh, Maybe you use a lot your markup list, and right here you can add additional comments, additional status, and all that. So daily use of your Bluebeam. Once you're good, you're going to save your file in Bluebeam, send it back to your designer, right? So at this point, probably we are good with the markups right here in Bluebeam. Let me minimize that. And then I'm in Revit. So at this point, what is kind of like the standard way that I'm going to be able to deal with those markups. So either I have just one monitor, right? And I split my screen and load my Bluebeam, that right here can be a little bit troublesome. So notice right there, I'm going to try my best to fit it to the screen. And even like that, I'm not going to have enough space, right? Because I have my project browser, I have my properties. Now in my Bluebeam, I have my panels, I have my tool chest. Now I might need to go page by page and start noticing and double checking this. So, okay, this it starts to get a little bit complicated. Now, even if I have two monitors, right? I need to be super familiar with my project to be able to quickly find those markups and annotations. So this is kind of like the third step, where instead of being a team with Revit and Bluebeam, we make it the Trinity, right? Which is going to be the MarkupX software. Now, this is an addition to Revit, and as well an addition to Bluebeam. And I'm going to be able to load up right here the navigator. Kind of like the first thing that I would like to mention for this one to be seamless into work is that I need to print a set, right? Because it's going to quickly read the information that I have on my drawings and be able to quickly notify me in which area those markups happen. So I can go right here to the navigator of MarkupX, and something that I can do is add or import a PDF. Now I'm going to look for it right there. I told you that I save it on my desktop. So let me go ahead and navigate to my desktop right here. There we go, desktop. And the file name is the MicroCAD Design Trinity. I'm going to select the option Open. Now at this point, what the add-in is going to do is start importing all the markups that I have on my drawings. And it's going to give me, in this presentation mode, right, each one of the issues of what they were created in Bluebeam. Now I'm going to be able to navigate through them, right? And right here at the top, I have a couple of options to sort it, and why not? Now, to give you an example, I'm going to select the first one right there. And what it's going to do is open up the sheet, the active sheet of my Revit, right? And it's going to overlap the markup that I have in Bluebeam. Now, it's going to take a second to load. Don't worry too much if you can see that it's not kind of like super precise on the location, but it's going to give you the intent of the markup. Now, let me compare it. I'm going to go back to my Bluebeam for a minute right here. And if I go back to that particular page, I'm going to be able to find that first markup, right? Now, I can follow up my company standards, and I can understand that this number one means that maybe I'm missing kind of like a number or a detail or something on that particular view. Now, what I'm going to be able to do right here is, for example, double click on that one as well. What it's going to do is open up connect on a preview level, right? I can see a little bit more detail if I'm not able to quickly understand it right here, what it means on the page in my Revit. If someone else added comments, right, I can see them, or I can add an additional comment saying that, okay, I understand this, right? And I'm going to fix it. So I can add that comment to this particular issue. Something else that I'm going to be able to do is right here, we have a status icon, and I can simply go ahead and select the option, okay, I complete it, I accept it, or I reject it. So this is going to help me to go through that QA, QC process, right? And as you can see, I'm still in Revit. I haven't touched back Bluebeam, right? So I can continue. Okay, let's go to the next, right here. So project number, issue, date, outer, and all that. So, okay, this is my bad. I need to change this value. I can quickly access right here all the data, right, from my title block and quickly change it and modify it. So we have a question right here from Tino. So does this work with Bluebeam Studio Sessions too? Great question, and I test that out. So you notice that right here, I import a file, right? Now, the thing with sessions, let me go back to my review right here. If I create a studio project or a studio session, let me go ahead, double check right here, project sessions. So sessions, let me create a new session. So right here, the session name is going to be test, right? And I'm going to add a file. The file that I would like to select is going to be that one that I created on the desktop, right? The MicroCAD Trinity. I'm going to hit open. Now this one can take a second right here while I load it. There we go. So I just added to my session, right? Now, regular permissions that you're familiar with, right, Tino? So you're going to allow to save, to print, and all that. So let's test that out. So right here, now I'm working on a session, right? Let me just give it a second right here. There we go. You can see that I'm the user that is online, right? Right here, I can go ahead and send the invites. So right here, I'm going to invite Tino, right? I'm going to do the regular email adding and all that stuff, right? In this case, I'm going to be the only one that is going to be working on that one. And right here, maybe add a message to invite the participants. I'm good on that one, right? Now, I'm in my session, right? So I'm going to continue adding my notes, adding my highlights, right? Adding my clouds. And you're familiar with this, right? Once you save your session, right? This one is going to be reflected to all your users that are invited to that session. And the thing is, just pay attention right here. 121, that's the last time that I saved my my drawing. Oops, sorry about that. So what I wanted to bring to your attention is going to be the following right here. Let me minimize this stuff. So right here, I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to bring my my file on Bluebeam. So 121, I can save as well. You can save it in your location, your active location, right? But what I wanted to bring to your attention is the following. Let me minimize this. So this is the file that I saved on my desktop. I'm going to show the properties of the file. So as you can see right here, the last modified time is 121, which matches the last save that I did on my sessions. And right here on my Bluebeam, something that I'm going to do is, let's just remember something. I'm going to close right here. So all the issues that I have were, let me scroll down. I have 15 issues before I made that change in the sessions. Now, what I'm going to do is refresh my PDF. And right here is going to tell me, okay, the same name is going to be, all right, the same name. So what I did was overwrite it. Then it's going to tell me, I have two options. You have the options to refresh the imports, which means the only new markups, or all the markups. So you can go ahead and select either refresh or replace. In this case, let's only do refresh, which are going to be only the new markups that I load. So if you remember, I have 15, right? In this case, I only bring the new ones. Now, let's pay attention to the new ones that I load. So if I go to issue, I'm going to scroll down past 15. In some cases, you're going to see that they are going to be out of range, depending on the sheet that I'm currently working. So that one, we are new. That one we knew, right? Now notice, you remember those crazy, silly images that I added on my sessions. Now they are visible right here. And as you can see, these ones were created in my sessions. So yeah, definitely something that we are going to be able to do, especially if you're a heavy user of a studio or heavy user of sessions. Great question, Tino. Something that I wouldn't think that someone would ask, but definitely something that we are going to be able to do. Now, following kind of like all the other things that I wanted to show you is, okay, I can create a status, right? I can say accepted, I can say rejected, right? But this is going to allow me to quickly see all the comments, see all the annotations, all the QA, QC processes that I have during my design process working with these softwares, right? Now, something else that I would like to show and share right here, after I create kind of like all these set of definitions and settings, something that I'm going to be able to do is save the session. So I can go ahead and save the session right there. Once again, I'm going to pick my desktop and I'm going to say this is my test project. And why is that? Because let's say that at the end of the day, I needed to step out, right? I wasn't able to continue with my annotations right here. So someone else is going to pick up the left work. Now, what they are going to be able to continue? Definitely, because what they can do is right here on the selection, open up that session, right? So they can open up from the recents, or they can go ahead and select the location. Now, you can pin your server location, right? If you guys use something like a drive or something like that, right? Your users are going to be able to look for it, and the file extension is going to be MX, right? So they can open up the text project. In this case, well, you already know I have the same one open. It's not going to be kind of like any major, but as well, you can do kind of like a last load of what you did with your previous project right here when it comes to annotations. So something really cool that you're going to be able to share. And notice that we are not stopping either the collaboration that we have when it comes to using Revit, because I can continue using my Beam Collaborate Pro, right? I'm not stopping the collaboration that I have when it comes to using a Bluebeam if I have studio and sessions, right? And now what I'm doing is integrating both without leaving my Revit. And as well, I'm going to be able to quickly access the annotations, add notes, and be able to quickly respond to my team. Now, from this selection, you can also filter your markups in case that some are intended for your discipline and some you don't need to show. You can set current markups as the ones as you're going to be currently working. You can hide them, right? And at the end, we also have a couple of settings and options. So when it comes to the settings, you're going to be able to quickly edit and modify basic of the definitions that we are loading. But kind of like the main intention of the markups that we have right here is quickly integrate both platforms. Now, one last thing that I would like to bring to your attention. Yes, this is going to be super useful for the users that we have right here in Revit, but you will say, okay, how I'm going to be able to reply back to the users that continue using Bluebeam, right? So right here, something that you're also going to be able to do is, in addition to save as and save your markups and all that stuff, right? For those users that continue right here, kind of like with the sessions and continue with the studio, right? You might need to do kind of like an additional integration right here with your markup list. Now, something that you're going to be able to do is after you're done with your markups, right, and your Revit, you can save that file, right? You can save that file with the MX extension and share it with the user that send you the QA and the markups and the red lines, right? Now they are going to be able to quickly pick, okay, if all the issues were resolved, right? And then can update their reports and everything that they do right here on the markup list. But yeah, this is what we wanted to bring today to the discussion, guys. Now, what it used to be kind of like a team that pretty much it was separated, right? Everyone that was working on the Revit, they were on their own way. Everyone that it was working on Bluebeam, they were using the software to communicate the quality process and the quality assurance. But now that we are able to join it, it's going to be a little bit easy on your project transition when it comes from going from the design phase to the construction phase and editing any elements that you might need to achieve those deliverables. Alrighty. So yeah, this is what I wanted to bring to your attention today. Hope you enjoyed the session, guys. And yeah, just let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Julian, for that wonderful presentation. And yes, if you have any questions, please let us know on the left hand. And in the meantime, I don't know, Juli, if you have the presentation of the webinars, or do you want me to put it?
Oh, I don't have it. Can you please
Okay.
please put it?
Yeah,
And
no
we have
worries.
a question right here. So, can you collaborate MX files to non-markups subscribers, or do you need markups to collab? Okay, so the questions is going to be if you don't have markups, you're not going to be able to collaborate, right? So you might need to have the add-in to collaborate. Now we might try to do something, but this is kind of like on the realm of you need to be either a really good programmer or really try to understand what we have right here behind the extension. You can try to edit that one in a notepad, but what information we are going to get. It's not like we are going to be able to turn this into an Excel spreadsheet. As you can see, this is everything code related. So no, definitely you need to have access um, to your add-in to be able to collaborate with your team members and other users. Yeah, so great questions. Yeah,
Thank
notice right
you.
here, no one is going to be able to decipher this one.
Okay, I have a short one right here. What about prices? How
All
can
right,
I?
so
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
when it
basically
comes
about prices.
to pricing, I will suggest you guys go ahead and contact our sales reps. And as you can see, you have the cost of your AC license, right? You have the cost for Bluebeam. This is an add-in. It's not that pricing, but as you can see, the integration that we have with the two softwares that we use on a daily basis definitely is going to be super useful.
Thank you, Juli. And the next question is, can I buy extra licenses of markups to assign out to subcontractors to collaborate? Then, when the project is done, move the license to the next subcontractor for the next project. Can we do
I
that?
I will need to double check on that one. But I will say it's definitely something that we are going to be able to do as the license. Let me go right here. And please, guy, do not steal my license. But right here, when you select the option license, they are going to provide you with the serial number. So this is definitely something that you're going to be able to assign or unassign on users. Is not going to be associated with your Revit license, is not going to be associated with your Bluebeam license. So this is something that you're going to be able to assign or unassign to different users. Now, as the question asks, right, when the project is done, move the license to the next one, right? So yeah, definitely something that you're going to be able to do, but just remember the following. You need to make sure that your subcontractor does have access to their own Bluebeam license, right? Because they probably, if they have the trial version, they are only going to be able to work for a couple of days before delivering the project to you. So let's make sure that if you're purchasing a markups license to assign to an external party, make sure that they do have access to their own Revit license and their own Bluebeam license.
All right. Thank you. And I wanted to remind you all that if you want to learn any of these topics in detail, you can take a custom training with Julian. And we also offer group classes online. So here you have our phone numbers per region in case you want to contact us. And you also have my contact down below. That's a very outdated picture of me. Sorry about that. And so I wanted to also check on the upcoming webinars. We have coming up next a very highly requested one on April 17, Autodesk New Way to Buy. We already had a webinar on this, but we had such a great attendance that we decided to do another one. So please register if you're interested, and even if you cannot make it, we will send you the recording. So that's why it's so important for you to register. I believe you have the box of a registration page on the left hand. So yeah, I think this concludes our webinar. If I don't see any questions, Juli, let me know if I'm wrong, but I don't see more questions. So yeah, I would like to thank you, Juli, and thank everyone for attending. And please let us know if you have any questions, if you want a quote. Here you have our contact numbers. We'll happily contact you back and hopefully come up with a good deal. Juli, do you have anything else?
Yes, guys, remember we are doing a Bluebeam web series or webinar sessions. So as well, be on the look for that one. It's always good to continue on this Bluebeam path. And as you can see on today's question, we have a lot of users that, as well as our Autodesk products, they use Bluebeam on a daily basis. So this is going to be super useful for everyone on your company, even if they are kind of like entry basic level or if they are already experts using the software. So look for those upcoming Bluebeam webinars.
Absolutely. Okay, and with that, I would like again to thank you all and wish you have a great week ahead. Thank you, Uli. Thank you, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.